Ta-da! Can you hear me? I'm never sure with this thing. Hey, welcome in. Welcome in. Has everybody got their tinfoil hats ready? Yeah, Sleuth Mom, we do need a tinfoil hat bunny. Maybe if I ever get monetized, I'll have some emojis. Um, True Texan, hi, babe. Okay, bring it. I can't wait for this one. What about the Nephilim? We're gonna get there. Gonna get there. Hey, Peggy. I know you'd be excited for this, babe. Shauna B, hi. Hi. For Q, thanks for coming in, baby. Denise Oles. Yes, True Texan is here, your stalker buddy. Um, did I say for Q? I don't know. Let's see here. I made that comment on top early when posted the notification. Yes. Yes, we're gonna do Nephilim. Um, Anybody else? Anybody else? Yeah, I had to make some coffee too, babe. I've had a cold the last couple days, and it's not, horrible. It's not COVID or anything, but I just don't, whatever. You know what? I have piss ants that are out and about. I call them that too. The little tiny ones, or grease ants, I guess. Steph B, thanks so much for being here, baby. I appreciate it. Oh, Mama Bear, 222. 2,222. Oh, listing and cooking dinner. Please say tacos. Please say tacos. Hey, Jim Jules. How are ya? Blunt B. Hey, my buddy. My buddy. Savage is threatening to rip out someone's throat on her post. It's okay. We're here to woosah. That's what the burrow is for. It's a nice place. Just to woosah and talk about some stuff that's not, totally stressful. Hey, Burden of Proof. Hi, sweetheart. Yes, live chat reminder. Please like, share, subscribe if you're not. Rowena, hi, baby. It's good to see you. So, I did a poll. Oh, you wish it was tacos? You really don't want to cook? Okay, gotcha. So, I did a poll, and it says, are you familiar with the term Anunnaki or Nephilim? And let's see, we got 6% say yes, Anunnaki. 18% say yes, they're aware. Let me see if I can show you this without it getting weird. Yeah, I don't think I can. Nope, I can't do that. Never mind. Yeah, you can't say "fuck you" too many times because I might get struck. But okay, so my poll, 6% said yes, they know what Anunnaki are. 17% said they know what Nephilim are. 28% said they know what both are. And then 50% said Prince Harry. I have no idea. So, cool beans. Rowena is one of the Prince Harrys. It's cute. There we go. Okay, so give me just a second because I don't have my ish together. So I'm going to let you look at the Okay, so what we're going to, hey, Wim, welcome in, buddy. The music takes you back. Do, 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 do. Takes you back to where, Burden? Takes me back. Oh, good. All right. Good, good, good. Everybody's got their tinfoil hats on. Excellent. Okay. So, I thought this was kind of appropriate because, we have UAPs, unidentified aerial phenomenons, and we have UFOs, unidentified flying objects. We have aliens landing in the backyards of Las Vegas and whatnot. And what this is actually going to wrap up into is the delusion and the end times. And to be honest with you, Grandma bit off more than she could chew because I've been trying to get together this whole thing. Um, can you give me a 1 in the chat just to make sure you hear me? Because I'm not sure. Dooby dooby doo doo. 1 in the chat. Yeah, I guess you can hear me. Oh, thanks. Okay. All right. All right. Thanks, everybody. Oh, no. Okay. I've heard about the reptilian humans, but I can't believe it. Yeah. So there's all kinds of conspiracy theories and weirdness going around. And so I just wanted to kind of bring some stuff forward because this seems to be pretty popular. Here we go. And so what we're going to do right now is we're just going to level set. Okay. And like I said, I kind of bit off more than I could chew because I didn't even get all my stuff together as far as graphics and all that. So we're just going to wing it. All right. So it'll be kind of cute and wonderful until it's not. Hey, Follow the Grain. Labia, how are you, baby? Ange Carter, welcome in. Appreciate you being here. Okay. So here's the thing. All right. Most of us were brought up in a Christian faith, right? And so we've heard the term Nephilim, if you've read the Bible. Hey, Six Sense Amelia, kia ora. And here's the thing that if we look at this subject as being like a pie with whipped cream, Grandma's kind of halfway through the whipped cream, okay? Because this is a super deep, deep rabbit hole. And this is not forcing any thoughts or ideas on anybody, just trying to explain some stuff that's going around, okay? So, in the King James Version of the Bible, Genesis 6:4 said there were giants, which is the word Nephilim that was translated into the word giant, in the earth in those days. And also after that, when the sons of God came in unto the daughters of men, they bare children to them, and the same became mighty men which were of old, men of renown. Okay? Stop that. So basically, every culture, every religion on the planet, nope, non-Christian, not fond of King James. It's a family thing. I got you, baby. No problem. But, we've all heard stories about Noah's Ark and whatnot because those things are throughout cultures. I mean, even the Chinese have a legend of a flood that just destroyed all of the earth and all that stuff, right? Most people think that man has been on the earth about maybe 10,000 years. But if that's the case, then where did dinosaurs come from? So we just don't know what we don't know. All right. And so, Jasmina, what? Wait, what's going on? Hear me out. Okay. Um, anyway, sorry. I'm easily distracted. Squirrel. Hey, Beaver. How are you, buddy? Good to see you. All right. So, like I said, every culture has their own beliefs, their own histories, all of that stuff. But there's one thing that all of them have in common, and that is gods, superhuman beings, deities that actually walked on the earth. Yeah, that's where faith comes in, Rowena. That's right. And dinos was during the first Earth age. Right. Okay, so we don't have histories of all that kind of stuff. Oh, oh. Nor Jasmine, hear me out with her tinfoil hat. That's her saying for her channel. Okay, I didn't know that. I'm sorry. Hey, Rick. And there are UFOs in Renaissance paintings. Yeah, but here's the thing. You've heard of the Norse gods, like Odin and Thor and all the Marvel comic people, right? And then there's Roman gods, and there's Greek gods, and there's Middle Eastern gods. And so, where are these people coming from, right? So, what I'm just trying to do here is just level set that we have a commonality. Oh, she wears a tinfoil hat in her videos. Okay. Okay, so we're going to level set just on that we all have some stuff in common that we're not exactly sure where it came from. Okay. So, in the Christian faith, when the Israelites crossed over after they were freed from Egypt, they sent spies out to look at the land, okay? And there we saw the giants, the sons of Anak, which come of the giants. And we were in our own sight as grasshoppers. And so we were in their sight. So this is kind of like a Nephilim dude, right? Maria's been trying to explain the Greek gods to me. You know, it can get really, really confusing. So here we go. Now, this comes from the book of Enoch, which was written in Hebrew, supposedly by the prophet Enoch. And it was not, quote, canonized, okay? Canonized. Bishops and King James dispossessed ancestors. That's how we ended up in New Zealand. Oh, that's cool to know. And honestly, in most religion, they speak of things similar to Anunnaki, just saying, yes, exactly. So here's the thing, right? In the book of Enoch, is a lost thing, but you can go buy a copy on Amazon or whatever. So this is about remember the fallen men, right? And all the others together with them took unto themselves wives, and each chose for himself one, and they began to go in unto them and to defile themselves with them. And they taught them charms and enchantments and the cutting of roots, and they made them acquainted with plants, and they became pregnant, which is the human women, right? And they bare great giants whose height was 3,000 ells. And evidently they ate humans, devoured mankind. And they began to sin against the birds, the beasts, the reptiles, and fish, and to devour one another's flesh and drink the blood. And then the earth laid accusation against the lawless ones. So what's an ell? It says the ell is first encountered as an Egyptian measurement. It's about 2 feet, 8 palms, or 600 millimeters. So if these guys were like tall, if you just, whip out the calculator and do 3,000 times 18 inches, we're talking massive, massive people. Here we go. Oh, yeah, I didn't type that right. 1 Samuel 17:4, a champion named Goliath, who was from Gath, came out of the Philistine camp, and his height was 6 cubits and a span, 9 foot 9 inches tall. Okay, this is David and Goliath. Hey, Kim Bissett, how are you, baby? Thanks for coming in. Yeah, we're getting there, baby. Giant human bones have actually been found. So, in 1911, in a cave in Lovelock, Nevada, they found about 45 skeletons of humans that were 9 to 12 feet tall. Okay. Oh, right. Yeah. I'd hate to have breathed that too. Lost me already. Can't come at giants. Fee, fi, fo, fum. Hey, Emmy. How are you, babe? Thanks for coming in. Let me show you something here. And if I was brilliant, I would actually have this. Maybe this is it. Hang on just a second. Yeah, it is. Okay, so this is about 3 minutes long, and I've got these linked in the description so that you guys can go back and look at stuff if you need to. But I'm going to stop sharing that. Hate to be their tailor. Yes. That's not a giant at 9 foot. A giant is over 50 foot in my head. Yeah. Yeah, like Jack and the Beanstalk. That guy was huge. Here we go. Let's share this. Da, 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 da. I don't know if this is actually... Is this running? No. I think I showed you the Military Times. Yeah, look. Military Times. Okay. Here be giants out a military unit that went into Kandahar, and they encountered giants. Yes, for real. And like I said, I'm getting better at it, I suppose. Captures. Go. Okay, hang on. Hopefully I'll get this. 900 things. Johnson! Hey, baby. I know that, hang on just a second. The Queen's going to go live pretty soon. I just got a thing from her. Let me know if you can hear this.
You were in Afghanistan in 2002, and you were called into a very remote section of Afghanistan because a patrol had basically gone missing. Okay,
Just around nothing.
For miles.
Right. And very remote. Yeah, very remote. So we flew in. They're about 4 kilometers. We're hiking through the same area where they were supposed to make one of their checkpoints, their relic. And before we left, there was all kinds of what happened with the ambush, but that was even odd because at point of ambush, you need to call for maybe close air support, something, okay? There was no calls made, you just off the grid. So we're coming down a mountainside, and it was a nice path, goat path. As we bent around this corner, you could see this opening of the cave. There's a cave. So we're coming around. And then I see there's a lot of rocks, which is another oddity, and then bone matter. I'm not close enough to identify what kind of bones, but I did see something I knew was a piece of our communications equipment. So instantly we're thinking ambush, maybe animal, could be anything. And there was enough room in front of this cave, but it had a sheer drop off. But there was enough room that we actually got into a decent dispersal in case of ambush.
You see something coming out of the cave, and it's moving with a speed and agility that catches you off guard.
Everybody.
And I was muted. This is a trip. But, and we don't know how true these things are and yada, yada, yada. But it's enough to question. Hey, Ellie. Hi, baby. How are you? And Stonefly Blue came in. Hi. Hi. I'm so glad you're here. Please make sure to like and subscribe if you're not.
And he comes out. It was a man at least 12 to 15 feet in height. This is a monster. Red beard. Then his hair was long past the shoulder, a scarlet red, and Dan runs at him and starts shooting to broke all of us into the reality. As it was so
now your training is kicking.
Oh yeah, okay. Muscle memory, complete muscle memory. While Dan is moving at him, another row of lions lay down fire, and I started firing. He skewers Dave. He's now got him on this pike. It went 2. And he's still got him. And he's coming after more. We all just clicked in. I don't know what it was, but I remember we're all like, shoot him in the face, shoot him in the face. And all weapons components were in force. We had 308s, and we had Sarah's distance. This is sounding longer than it took. We're talking 30 seconds.
Okay, so that was recent, right? So why am I talking about all this? Because the area that they're talking about that the Nephilim came from and whatnot actually came from, it makes me wonder if all these fairy tales are based in some truths about giants. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Delusion, I think. Hey, Ramblin' Rome. Haha. Yeah. Oh, remember the Lovelock Cave in Nevada? The giant bones that they found? They found red hair on them. So is there speculation that these giants still exist? Yes. And we're not really going to go into the giants. I'm just trying to show you that where these big people legends and myths come from is kind of a universal thing, right? And where do we get that stuff? We get that stuff from the oldest society on Earth that we know of in our iteration of it here. And that would be Sumerians. We've talked about Sumerians. We've heard that before. Huh? And so here's the thing. The Sumerians actually came up with this writing, which is called cuneiform. And it's kind of like hieroglyphics because it's just a bunch of lines and stuff. And so we've had these tablets because basically, hang on just a second. Oops, wrong. New Zealand was Gondwanaland. I probably crucified that, but yeah. Anyway, so we've had these tablets around like forever, and nobody really knew what was going on until about 1963 when this guy came in to the University of Chicago, and he was studying. He was really good at Assyrian languages, Middle East languages, and whatnot. Mario Civic, I think his name is. Anyway, he's dead now. But here's the thing. So he was able to look at these cuneiform things, and he was able to translate them. Okay. Hi, Nicole. Hi. Good to see ya. So this is kind of what they look like right here. I'm not exactly sure what these are. Like maybe it's a redaction of some kind, like it's a police report, or they were doxing the aliens and they had to take it out. I don't know. That was stupid. Yeah. But okay, so in 1973, they were doing excavations of a really old city called Ebla, and it's in northern Syria. And they found a bunch more of these clay tablets recovered in the palace library, and it contained records of all the nations that Ebla traded with. So, he's dead now. I found that funny. Yeah, most people are. But anyway, so this is where we get into the Anunnaki, okay? And like I said, this is just a really super high level. Okay. Just a really super high level, scratching the surface kind of thing, okay? So Anunnaki comes from those cuneiforms. They have names and they're talking about, oh, thank you, Jonesy. I love you too, baby. But a bunch of the names spoken about in the cuneiform, and it's called the Sumerian King List. All right. And let me get my notes up. Okay, yeah, Miguel Seville. It was his name, not Mario. Bear with Grandma. He was a leading expert in the earliest known written languages. And he died he was 92 when he died. Okay. So he was a scholar at the Oriental Institute in the University of Chicago and was described as understanding Sumerian better than anyone since the beginning of the second millennium BC. Oh, right. Gondwana, Pangaea, was a large supercontinent that existed in the southern hemisphere, clustered near the Antarctic Circle, before it began to break up about 200 million years ago. Yeah, cool beans. So here's the thing. Remember I told you that, we think that maybe our iteration is about 10,000 years old, and that, there were dinosaurs and everything, that there was a first age. Well, according to scientists, there's about a 25,000 year period between 38,000, I'm going to say before Christ, okay, because I'm not going to be all before Common Era. It's before Christ, all right? 38,000 before Christ to about 13,000 before Christ was a really bad time on Earth. It was just, it couldn't harbor life, okay? Hey, Cotton Candy Boobs. Gosh, I like saying your name. Oh, gosh. Rowena, oh yeah, your hand, baby. I hope you're feeling better. Is any of this coming from the Bible? Be disappointed if it is. Then the Bible reads more like a fairy tale. You know what? There's a lot of things in the Bible that people talk about and they explain away based upon their own theology. And we're going to kind of get to that, okay? So, we were talking about the Sumerians. There was a huge period of time where nothing was able to live on the earth. And this is not Noah's flood, okay? This is way, way, way before that. So the Sumerians come along at about 4,500 before Christ, all right? Maybe a little before that. But where we get the Anunnaki thing is, you've heard of ancient astronauts, right? Remember Chariots of the Gods? Yeah, Eric von Daniken. And he had all those really cool pictures of like Mayan ruins with these carvings that had people looking like they're in spacesuits, and that it's like all over the place, right? So where did this thing come from? In comes a man named Zachariah Sitchin. Okay. Zachariah Sitchin had been studying the Sumerian stuff and was looking at all this and started looking at the tablets and the Sumerian king list. Okay. Now, in the Sumerian king list, it says, specifically mentions somebody named Enki, Enki, Enki. And Enki was supposedly the creator of men. And creator of men, what? Okay. So they actually look at it as being like we were sort of evolutionary ape people, you know what I mean? And sorry, I kind of lost myself here. Where'd it go? Bear with me just a moment. Oh, I don't know where it is. Anyway, so Zachary Sitchin came up with this idea that these superhuman deities that walk the earth, that the Bible calls the sons of God, that we interpret as being fallen angels, right? He looked at that and said, well, Sumer is the oldest civilization to have writing, that actually wrote histories about stuff. And of course, there's other Mayan things and whatnot. Like I said, yeah, Enoch was actually, no, he was kind of Jewish, right? Maybe I aren't a Christian, because I can't believe a lot of that. And that's why I want to know if the Old Testament is null and void because of the New Testament. Yes, we're not doing theology today. The Roman Catholic Church took many books out of the Bible we have today. The Book of Enoch was one of them. Yeah, actually, the Catholic Bible still has things like the Book of Maccabees 1 and 2 and whatnot, which is where we get Hanukkah, because the oil lasted 8 days. Yeah, squirrel, rabbit trail. Anyway, so the name Enki is on these tablets, these cuneiform Sumerian tablets, okay? And he is the creator of man. So Mr. Sitchin comes up with an idea, and he's been doing research, and this is nothing but a really high-level overview, so you kind of understand when people are talking about Anunnaki and Nephilim, okay? So the Anunnaki, according to him, are extraterrestrials. They're a race of entities that are physical that came from a planet called Nibiru. And Nibiru is supposed to be like the 12th planet in our solar system. Okay, let me see if this is the right thing. No, it's not. Maybe this is it. Yes, it is. Let me show you this. Okay. Here we go. Da, 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 da. So here's the thing, and I was looking at these things because now our year lasts 365 days, right? We're on Earth. 365 days is a year. And this has to do with how quickly you orbit the sun, how quickly the planet orbits the sun. Saturn takes 29 years. Here's our solar system. We are the third rock from the sun. Anyway, so according to them, planet Nibiru is where the Anunnaki lived. And they live, let me see. The years in Nibiru take, they call them Ashara, by the way. So one orbit takes about 100 Earth years. Okay? 100 years to orbit the sun. And it's not on a perfect round orbit. None of them are. Sometimes each planet is closer to other planets, and sometimes it's closer to the sun, and that sort of thing. Okay? So, hey, Nikki. Hi. You missed my poll. You could have answered Prince Harry. Yeah, which means I have no idea about any of this stuff. Anyway, so this planet Nibiru, which is really one of their years, okay, takes 3,600 years here on Earth. Okay? So that's how far out they are. Sorry, kitty. But in their orbit, they actually come near Earth every once in a while, which is where these Anunnaki come from. Okay? Now, Anunnaki had people reigning here on Earth. One of them reigned 28,800 years. 28,800 years. And I'm trying to keep this under an hour-ish. Yeah, that was my kitty. But anyway, so evidently on Nibiru, of course, they had fights like everybody does, and, succession and all that crap. But their atmosphere on their planet was being polluted. And they came up with this idea that they could kind of like cloud seed. Yeah, cloud seed with gold. And it kept their atmosphere so that it would protect them from their two suns. Yes, there's another sun on that side of the planet. But hang on. Here we go. So they started running out of gold. And what ended up happening is they were looking at other planets that were similar to theirs as far as atmosphere and resources available on it. And in one of the passes of Nibiru into our solar system, it supposedly crashed with a planet that's no longer there called Tia. And that's what caused our asteroid belt, because of the collision of the two planets. So, you with me so far? Are we good? Yeah, 28,000 years. Elliptical. Yes, that's the right term. I used to really dive into a lot of it. I will just say the church and I do not come from the same conclusion on many of this subject matter. Me either. I've had about 12 UFO sightings in my life. The last one was huge about 2 years ago. Really scary. Why me? Yeah, I don't know if I believe all this too, Shauna, but it is kind of fascinating. But here's the thing. Okay, so the people from Nibiru, the Anunnaki, come to Earth, and they're living here for like a long, long time. Like I said, just one of their kings reigned 28,800 years. And the people from Nibiru were actually star seeds, yes. The people from Nibiru were actually doing the work. They were mining the gold and getting all the neat stuff, and they were sending it back. And they got kind of disgruntled after, I don't know, 100,000 years or something. And so they started a war, which evidently this war between them is what caused that issue where we had 25,000 years where nothing could live here. So, are you following me so far? I know this is crazy. I'd like to find this interesting. I can't believe it. I'm too stupid to understand it to be interesting. Oh, okay, Fark you. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah, this is crazy. I'm just trying to bring this down to an understanding so people, because I've seen it all over the place, and that guy King whatever on Deets on the Streets last week was talking about this stuff. So I wanted to kind of break it down to you so that you can understand when these things come up, because I believe there's a delusion coming. I believe there's a delusion coming over all the earth, and it has to do with UFOs. Okay. So we had the 25,000 years on earth where it couldn't have life or anything. And so Inky, this Anunnaki god, came back and took humankind, whatever, the ape looking guy or the Cro-Magnon man and that sort of thing. Hey, Brooke, how you doing? And what they did is they genetically manipulated them so that they could use them as a slave force to do all the manual labor. And this happened for like 10,000 years or whatever. So some people think that the fallen angels that mated with men or women of, the humans, right? The fallen angels that mated with the human women that created the Nephilim or the giants were the Anunnaki. That the Anunnaki that were left on Earth actually lost the war of the heavens, because remember, they're extraterrestrials. And those that lost had to come down and live on Earth. And that's the fallen angels part of this stuff. So, yes. Yes. So, yes, they're aliens. Yes, they're fallen angels. And there's a lot of things in scripture, if you will, whether it's in Hebrew or Aramaic or Greek or whatever, that's been translated through, well, it started with the Catholic Church, with the Roman Catholic Church and their political machinations. So what we look at now as the Bible, as scripture, has a lot of truth to it. And it also has some things that we really don't understand. And that's where I started with that we don't know what we don't know. But I think if we have enough discernment about what's going on and what's out there and what they're telling this. Did I say hi, Brooke? I just thought while I had a chance. Yeah, there's always replay, baby. Yeah, I hate that I'm questioning my faith. I feel like the world is changing and it's pretty eye-opening. I got a bit paranoid about seeing UFOs because the church told me they were demonic. Yes, exactly. And that's the whole thing. During the time when humans thought the earth was flat and that autistic people were demonic, and the best way to heal somebody was to put leeches on them or just cut open a vein and let them bleed. That's where all of this is coming from. The time of misogyny, when they put women down, women couldn't own land. A woman wasn't even her own self. She couldn't do anything. There were a few, exceptions to the rule for women who had their own businesses and things like that. But the point is, it can be so scary to question what we've been taught or we have known to be the truth. Exactly. It's kind of the whole premise of the X-Files, right? And I think a lot of our media and our entertainment has kind of been priming us for some great plan, right? So, Anunnaki are from Nibiru, and they ruled as gods on the earth. and then they left. And the thing is that about 3,600 years, they're going to be coming close enough to the Earth to probably make contact again. Now, that's approximate, right? So if we think about it, the Sumerian cuneiforms. Hey, Zooter, how you doing, buddy? The cuneiform was started about 3,300 before Christ, BC. Okay? And so now we've had about 5,000 years since then, since it started. So Nibiru would be coming closer to our orbit so that it's a shorter distance for them to visit. And a lot of people, hey Sticky, how are you, baby? Thanks for coming in. And a lot of people think that we're seeing a lot of these UAPs and these alien encounters and all that stuff. And because they're close enough now, right? And this Zechariah Sitchin that I told you about, he actually has something called the Lost Tablets of Enki. Remember the first creator of man, Anunnaki guy? And it gives the history of the Anunnaki and on their planet. And then it talks about the people that braved their way to come through the asteroid belt and to get here to Earth and all that kind of thing. And so if you're interested in that, you know, it's out there, Zechariah Sitchin. I actually have his website linked in the description of this video. And there's all kinds of things that spin off of this, y'all. I mean, the Bible talks about fallen angels that are held captive in the Euphrates River. And that prophecy says that they won't be released until the Euphrates dries up. Guess what, y'all? The Euphrates is dried up. It's dried up. Let's see if I can find this. Here we go. Okay, so the Euphrates drying up is, oh, this is, I effing love science. I like them. Here we go. Maybe. There we go. And crisis looms just as the Bible warned. Could dry up by 2040. It's almost dried up now, okay? So according to biblical prophecy, there are fallen angels that are held captive underneath the Euphrates River. Remember I told you Sumeria was in Iraq? Guess where that is? Yeah. And so some people, yes, I've heard you can hear them, Ramblin' Rome. You can hear them now. Yeah, it'll be left up. I have to go, but want to be. Yeah. No. Everybody on the replay crew. Woohoo! Dig on the replay crew. Yep, and you can hear them. It is drying up due to Turkey damming it up. Right. Right. The ancient writings. Makes you wonder about all of them. So here's the thing. If any of this is true, then, and I'm running out of time, dang it. If any of this is true and it was translated wrong or it was brought into, you know, a spiritual vision, a prophetic vision, like John when he was on Patmos Island and he wrote Revelation in the Christian Bible and all of the visions that he had. And we think back then, you know, they had nothing, you know. It was like camping in the absolute roughest sense. You know, if they were going to eat, they went down to the river and they got a fish. or they killed something, they had fires inside to keep them warm and to see by at night. So if any of these things, hey, Rick Fisher, hi. So, so if any of these things that he saw in the spirit were of a future tense, like someone had mentioned it before, that Elijah was taken up on a chariot of fire. I mean, how could somebody back then understand what a UFO was or a spaceship, right? How could they accurately describe it as being something that they saw happening, but they didn't know anything other than a wheel within a wheel, and flames. I remember the Euphrates drawing up being a childhood fear of mine. Oh no, baby. No, click out. No. Don't be scary. Don't be scared about this. But what I'm trying to say is that all of these UFO sightings and all these aliens and all this other stuff and all the giants that were talked about and that, we look at them as being cryptids now, but evidently they're supposed to still be in, the caves in Syria. They might be in Nevada, or they might be living inside the earth. So it's nothing that we should poo-poo. Hey, Jen. How are you, sweetheart? Yay, pop in and say hey. Oh, thanks, Nikki. If aliens come, I got y'all's back. Okay, I said that. Oop, no. I'm getting better. I'm getting better. What if humans sent prime specimen genetic clones into space and the Earth reset, then those clones came back? Yeah, that's kind of the idea, because part of the Lost Book of Enki is that that the Anunnaki on Earth actually sent, and I don't remember the guy's name, but anyway, this guy and his son were sent to the moon, okay, to see if there are any resources up there and how they could do it and all that other stuff. So evidently they lived up there for like, I don't know, 15,000 years, and then they started saying, hey, Shady for Life. I didn't get to say hi to you last time, and I'm sorry. Yes. My church was wild. This is also why I'm questioning my own faith. Okay, yeah, because I was heavily involved in the cult kind of spirit-filled church, kind of similar to the shiny happy people, the people who talk in tongues and handled snakes. We didn't handle snakes, but that sort of line, that if you have enough faith that it's all good and whatnot. And I went for many, many years just blindly believing that if I could see it and understand it, then it's okay. And if not, then it was satanic. It was demonic. And mental illness is demonic and all that kind of stuff. And we're kind of there now. And everybody, like in my intro, we all can agree that the world is getting worse. It's getting more evil. It's getting more violent. It's going to come down to probably a lot of civilizations are going to be annihilated somehow, whether it's nuclear war or whether it's giants that are rising up like in the book of Revelations. And we just need to be aware of what's going on. We need to understand that when all the countries of the world get together in a new world order and we all have one world religion, because, we're all fighting against the aliens like we are in a bunch of movies, Independence Day and all that kind of thing, that that could be a delusion. Yep, the end times are coming. What? Church dealings ended for asking questions and getting Getting this. Doop. Yeah. And if someone's asking you to blindly believe something, don't believe it. Because I said so, or because I have a really good explanation of what that is, should have been translated as this, that, and the other thing. And there is something coming down the pike. I don't know if it's end times, or if it's New World Order, or Project Blue Book, or whatever. But there's too many things coming together that are just fishy as heck. So whether it's Anunnaki coming back, or whether it's actual aliens, I will sit there just like a... Yeah, I love that movie. Honestly, I watch it every 4th of July. What is that smell? I love that movie. But anywho, so I personally believe I have seen UAPs, personal experience. And is Queen Bee live yet? It's not like I'm sucking off her people, honest to God. But I don't want you to be over here with my foolishness. Yep, she's live 5 minutes ago. So I'm going to actually end this and probably pick this up again so we can talk about what we think about this, and we can talk about, if we've seen aliens and been abducted and probed, or, all that kind of stuff. Does that sound good? I hope this is also fuzzy. It's also weird, and it's also out there, and it's all very new. It's just within the last 100 and something years that a bunch of these alien conspiracies and all that kind of stuff have come about. So, um, just I want you to be able to read the signs of the times. I want you to be able to prepare yourself mentally, to prepare yourself spiritually. If it's the kind of thing where we're really going to need to prep and go underground and store up food, whatever you're feeling to protect you and your family and your mental health, do it, because I love you. And like I said, I'm not trying to shove any kind of belief down your throat or whatever. I just want you to be aware of some of the theories that are out there and how it's affecting people. When they removed a lot of this from the canon, they created the problem. Texan, you and I could talk for hours. Hours. I'm lucky my mom was really good at not trying to force me to believe what she grew up with. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, babies. I'm going to hit the exit and going to try to get something to eat. And I'll talk to you guys probably again on Sunday because, like I said, I've kind of got a cold. And thank you all for being here. I love you so much. I really, really do. And I want nothing but the best for each and every one of you.